Hello, I'm Brian. Today we're going to be digging these two strawberry plants. These are Ozark Beauty, and strawberries are a lot harder to grow than they seem. This year we're going to put some effort, and hopefully we'll get strawberries again in the following year. What normally happens is I would plant a strawberry plant, it'll make fruit, and then afterwards the plant just dies. So right now is a critical time of the year to get these strawberries nice and happy. What ends up happening is they're going to collect energy and store it into their roots and stuff. That's the energy stored is what the fruit is going to be produced with the following year. So right now we're going to take these guys out, build a raised planting spot for them, and hopefully we'll get strawberries again next year. So what we're going to do with creating a raised area is we're going to use sticks to make a retaining device for the soil that we're going to fill up here. What I should have done earlier was start by taking out the strawberry plants and the Tokyo long white onions that are back there. So we'll do that before we do our next step. Here's our soil retention device. Honestly, it could have been a lot more prettier if we had used fresh branches. These were cut, I think, in summer. They've all dried up, but if they were fresh, we can more easily manipulate them into a straighter line. Since these are all dried, they're pretty much going to stay whatever shape they are. Nonetheless, we have something that we can use to create our new growing bed from. Down here, this is all borrowed from permaculture. What we're going to do is fill the bottom with sticks and other things that we can let break down over time. The roots aren't going to really necessarily going to get down that deep anyways. I think we're a foot above level here, and anything that's down there, usually the roots aren't going to be able to use. So what will happen is this stuff will break down over time and become something that can be used by roots and other organisms in the soil. So we'll find other things to fill down here, and then we'll fill our growing area with soil, and then afterwards we will put in our strawberry plants. Here's a corn stalk from earlier this year. We'll put down there. We have our planter here made now, and the soil filled in. We have half of it filled with soil. We're going to find soil and fill the other half, but we can start planting back our strawberries. So the good thing about this planter is that it'll help with the drainage for the strawberries. The gaps here, obviously, the water can come through, air can get through. The other thing is now we've kind of also maximized our growing area. Down here we can grow our plants, and as they grow tall, they're not going to block the sun from the plants that are growing back here. And perfect timing, because the cloud just moved away from the sun, and we can see an example of that. So we'll just go right now and plant our strawberries back. The other good thing about this raised planter is that when the strawberries eventually grow, we can probably try to hang them over the edge. That way they're not vulnerable to the pill bugs. Then if we do that, we'll have to think of a way to protect them from the birds. So there are 2 plants here now. We'll separate these 2 guys, and then we'll separate out any kind of runners that are coming from here. We're probably behind on doing this as far as getting our strawberries planted and letting them store their energy for next year. But I guess now is better than never. Here are some runners, so we'll separate it out from the parent plant. And oh, we got three strawberry plants from here. Stuff is grown in peat moss, and the roots feel really dry. This is what I don't like about when we get plants from the nursery, especially when they grow in peat moss, because the peat medium is going to be different in characteristics from your regular growing soil. So what that means is this it will get either really wet or really dry. In this case, it got really dry. We'll plant these guys 8 inches apart. I guess we'll need more growing area than initially thought, so we'll have to go and find soil and fill that to level and plant the rest of these plants. I'm looking at the clouds go by again. There's something about living on this strip here where we get to see the clouds go by that way and then the clouds go by that way. The ocean's about 40 miles west in that direction, and north is behind me. So I'm glad these clouds are going somewhere. Sometimes I wonder if they end up in Arizona, because I would see them and then a day later I would see people in Arizona on their Instagram accounts talk about how they're getting rain. So so today we built this raised planter for the strawberries, and then on top of the strawberries now are some straw used as a mulch. And straw is a very common material used to mulch strawberries with, hence the name strawberries. I think in commercial applications these days they're covered with vinyl tarp. We also have a very organically constructed raised planter using sticks that had dried, and they pretty much dried in their curvy shapes. It looks more organic than formal, nice and straight. The good thing is there are crevices that we can plant either baby strawberry plants in, or even some sedum. And I think when we grow something in green, the cracks will look really nice. So once we do that, we'll be sure to do an update and show you guys what it looks like. And then the other thing is the Tokyo long white onions have been replanted, and I think we'll try to time the marigold to grow here. So once the strawberry starts to produce fruit, we'll get some marigold to grow in front and cover our strawberries so the birds don't see it and eat our strawberries. And with them hanging over the sides, maybe the pill bugs won't eat them either. So what is it, November now today? 1st of November. I think these guys won't start producing until June. So we'll have to wait a while, but it'll come a lot quicker than it will feel. So yeah, that's what we did today. We made this raised planter. Hopefully our strawberries will be happy and we'll get a second crop of strawberries from these plants. And with that, we'll end our video. Thanks for joining me out here and helping to make this, and we'll see you in the next video.